There's a few things that aren't as easy to work out or follow on their own. So I thought I'd do this little beginner's guide. It's probably going to go for a little while, so I'll be as quick as I possibly can. First off, when you start the game, you'll load it up. You'll do all the installment. You'll do a bit of a intro guide as part of the game. They'll run you through. You'll most likely play as Gideon. They'll run you through the buttons and the controls. It's very basic, very quick. Just push through that, and then this guide will take you basically from there. Now, the key to all of this is to try and get to level 5 as quickly as possible so you can create a deck. Decks are important. That's where you get your main power. That's when you're going to change the game. That's when you're going to affect things and be helpful for your team. In that deck, you'll be able to add gems to boost your skills. So this is your gems. There's quite a collection. It doesn't take long to collect a lot of them. It takes take a bit of time. Read over the different ones you've got, and of course your decks. Now, when you create a deck, you go into your deck menu, so collection deck menu, start new deck. You've got to select your affinities, your selections. So take some time, read through the cards you have unlocked. Now, Paragon, Epic Games have unlocked a lot of the cards for you. You get starter packs. You can also unlock cards that you haven't unlocked yet using reputation points or in-game purchases and that sort of stuff too. So go through, find things that you think are good, but most importantly, just practice with them. Work out which of these affinities best suits your gameplay, best suits your roles, which I'll get into in a second, and then set up your decks accordingly. Now, you can only pick 2. So for the sake of this, we're just going to pick these 2, growth and knowledge. So yeah, next. Now, these are the cards that you've got to select from. You just run through. You can pick 12. So we're not going to really do anything spectacular here. We're just going to pick a bunch of cards randomly throughout, just so show you that it's as easy as selecting them. Obviously, the statistics and stuff come over on the right over here. So you can pick whatever you want. You don't have to fill your quota. I've got decks with only 7 cards in them, so they're fine. So you go through, then you move to your gems. Now, you have to equip 6 gems. There's no shortcomings about that one. You have to equip 6 gems. You can pick them in any field you want, depending again on your playstyle and how you want to impact your game. So obviously agility is going to help with damage and whatnot, vitality with your healing, support, defense, that sort of stuff, and intellect is going to be spell power, increasing mana regen, and other things like that. So equip your gems, and then you finalize, and then you name your deck. So that's how we basically build a deck. So it's a very quick run through. Now, you want to build your deck with cards that are a low cast cost. So you can see this one has a 1 cast cost was 1. So you want to, that's 1 agility. So you want to keep a few low cast cost cards, a few mid sort of level cast cards, 3s and 4s and such, and then a couple of big ones for the late game. So you want to spread them out so that you scale well throughout the game. So we'll skip out of this, and we'll move on to things. So now this is your home page. This is where you start with everything. This is where you go. You've got your daily quests, your star chest. Now, I encourage you to do as much as you can on a regular basis to build up these chests. They will unlock stuff for free, and will help you get stronger as you go. So, all right. So we'll get into a game. Now, I'm going to set this up just on introductory and me versus the computer, with computer bots as my assistants, just to help out here, so I can show you things as quickly as I can. Now, I've set this to introductory so that I can build up quite quickly and fizz through this pretty quick. I don't think you want to be sitting me through a veteran game and have me grinding out stuff and watching me do it. So it's just going to be quite boring. So we'll get started. So believe it or not, playing by myself, there is still a little bit of a wait for a server, but nevertheless, it should be pretty quick. So you'll come into a character selection menu. Now, depending on your position in the lobby, now obviously I'm number 1, so I'll be picking first. Depending on your position in the lobby, you may get drawn out. Now, here's where you get to pick your different positions. Now, I'll run through these as we go through. I'm just going to pick pick solo lane. Just pick a character down here. Now you can go all heroes and have a view of those. Now I encourage you to start with all heroes to begin with. This allows you to, you know, read up on them quickly. You've only got a short period of time, but you can play a lot of heroes to start with. Find your favourite ones, work from there. A lot of the times people will pick, you know, you'll find a lot of people online will play carry or want to play carry, think they're a carry. You know, they're not necessarily going to be. So you play your game unless you're playing with your friends with a team. You've got mid laners, jungle, and support. So support's very rare. Very rare to find support players voluntarily. It's very rare to find good support players. So if you are a support player, keep practicing and get those skills up because it's very important. So there you go. So it gives you some tips on depending on what role you've chosen in that intro, in that setup phase. There's the main ones for solo laning. Okay, so the first thing that'll happen is you'll be choosing one of the decks you've built. Now you do get starter decks with each of the characters. They each have their own. Have a bit of a play with them. That's the one we just dodgily made. We haven't actually named, so we're not going to play that because it's rubbish. But so you pick a deck and you enter in it. So here's your cast cost. Now I've got some wards available. I can buy them now, or I can spend the 1,000 gold down here on one of the skills. So now I encourage you to, at the beginning of your games, start with something that can help control minions. So they're going to be the hardest part of it at the early stages. You're not going to be having hero versus hero battles much. So I've chosen this one. It helps me knock off the minions quite quickly. So from here, that's just using the X button and your left analog stick. From here, you'll exit out. So using your touchpad. Now you see down the bottom of the screen, you've got the little skills, and they're all fuzzy. They're all, you know, sort of glowing. You'll need to use your touchpad for that. Touchpad, just tap it, and your skills will come up, and you'll unlock by using the associated key. So what I want to do to start with is I'm going to unlock my R1 key, which is Kitty Claws. So unlock Kitty Claws, and then you tap the touchpad again, and it goes back to your normal screen. Now in this water area, this is the only place you can equip cards. So if you die or you press down on your D-pad, and you'll teleport back to home base whenever you want to. Hold down your touchpad, and your card menu will come up. So I'm going to do a couple of wards because it's just good practice to get into. Okay, so I'm going to run this way, and we're going to have a bit of a play. Now well, the lanes are all full, so that's good. So we'll go this way. We'll have a bit of a play. Now all characters are different. You've got melee characters and your ranged characters, so don't be afraid to test them both out. You'll need to find what you're comfortable playing with, and then you'll need to find what you're comfortable playing as a role. So each role is very different. So solo lane, your job is to harass and annoy and irritate the other players on the other end. You're not necessarily trying to win your lane. You're just trying to be annoying, just trying to get in the way. So ideally, what you want to do is get them to teleport back to base as much as possible. So just get them to move away from the minions. Oh, there we go. Give them enough of a touch up just to move back. Bit of a trick, you want to try and get the last hit on the minions. That way you can get the extra gold. Look out. Alright, so I've gone up a level, which means I can do up another skill. So just pick one. So again, touchpad, and then your relative button. Alright, so you'll notice that I'm not attacking the enemy hero whilst I'm standing under the tower, because that's what happens. So, again, we've got some points there to spend, so we'll spend those. So we'll just acquire them. You can pick anything you want. And then again, hold down touchpad, and then you can select a card and equip it. And then you tap touchpad to leave, and away you go. So back out, off we go. Might put a ward down just for the fun of it. It's unlikely that it's going to be needed, but we'll have a go. So, now, solo lane, like I was saying before, solo lane is mainly to harass your enemies. You want to make yourself a bit of a pain in the ass. Your job isn't necessarily to win the lane, it's just to slow them up, make them teleport back, make them run away, you know, and you go from there. So, so you place your ward. Now, place them in good spots that they can have good vision. So this one can see, as you can see, it can see all the way down there, so it can see the enemy sneaking around behind me. If they do, might as well kill the boost on here. Bit of health regen. Good habit to get into. You know, get your boosts when you can. Now. So we're getting a bit cheeky here. We're gonna put a ward up here. So we've got all our waste covered. Alright, so the other roles you've got, your mid lane, that's pretty self-explanatory. Someone who starts and plays in the middle lane. Again, your job isn't necessarily to win your lane. You're just there to put pressure on it. Mid lane is a good pressure point though to push your lane, so you'll likely have a support player there. And you know, they'll be able to support you through and get you, push it forward, push your lane, and then move forward. Support, again, self-explanatory. They're either going to support their carry or they're going to support their mid laner. Sometimes they have a roving support. They'll just support everybody, but your idea is to boost your players, boost your team, and you know, help them regenerate health, regenerate mana, you know, and just be there to stop them from getting ganked from the enemy heroes. Your carry is pretty important. It's a bit of the glory role. Basically what it is you know, you're the player that sits back safely, protected by a support, and will often get the last hit on these minions. You know, a good support player will let them have it. Same as enemy heroes. So, just so they can get a go and get some extra gold because we're getting the last hit in. So, builds up their gold quicker, lets them get bigger faster, so they have more impact in the game. So, I died here. There we go. Could have seen that coming. Damage over time, very powerful. So it's pretty good. Alright, just going to show you again how to equip or upgrade your skills. Just watching the other characters at the moment. So now, just give me a chance to talk about some of the other roles. Your jungler. Jungler is pretty important. Jungler often will also be a roving support. You know, they basically hang out obviously in the jungle, which is the areas between the lanes, farming neutral minions and getting boosts and things like that. So their role and their importance is, there you go, my ward just went off, tell me where an enemy was. Now it's important for the jungler to be a support player and not just stay in the jungle. His job is not to hide in there and just keep going. Inevitably, he'll have to come out and do some work and help his team. So it's critical that he does that. You know, he can be the one to do the you know, the switchovers and the rotations to put more pressure on different players. Even on easy, this is a frustrating character to play against. I've only just started playing this particular character, so I'm not as up to scratch with everything, but I'll try again. This will be great. Alright, just while we've got a skill to upgrade there, I'm just going to show you how to do that. So again, you just tap on your touchpad, brings up your skills. You can upgrade spend your gold, but more importantly, you can upgrade your skill abilities there. So we'll add that one in there. Just upgrade L2 skill. Go through. Right. So basically the goal of each of these is to push through, kill off the towers and into the lanes. There we go, gotcha. That's a bit of a trap. Try it again. This is great. Good video. Good stream. This is great. Okay, so just running through. Again, upgrade your stuff. Try and be liberal with your points. Try and get as many as you can. Build up your gold. Spin about a bit, and build towards your cards. So again, you hold your touchpad. I'll do it quiet. It's quiet now. Okay, so stay inside the water area. Hold your D-pad, your touchpad, sorry, and you're building these. So these points here, 4 of 5, 1 of 2, 1 of 1 down here. These equal the card costs up the top. So you notice I'm 4 of 5 because I spent 1 point here, and 1 of 2 in my vitality because I spent 1 point here. So they match these cards here, these costs. So you want to build to your combos. You want to build towards your points. There's things that will help you in the situation you're in. So now the beauty of it is you take one off, it puts the point back, so you don't lose the points once you've spent them. So you can build up. So you fill your 3 card spots, you can take one off, put another one on, put a bigger card on, you get your points back. So that's how you sort of build up to it. Now other things you'll need to know about are your different boosts. Now in your jungle, opposite end for the other team, you've got boosts here. So this boost will give you a bit of a buff, and it basically explodes when it pops. Now the boosts do come up at the bottom of the screen. They will tell you specifically what they are when when you get them. So give an indication there. See, swiftness orb. So I've got movement speed done. This one up here, you'll notice that it's a health regen. Color coded, they're always the same colors, so you'll see them. So that's health regen, and the abilities come up on the top left screen as well. So there's Orb Prime. Won't get a chance to show you in this vid what this guy does. He does kick ass. You'll need a couple of players with him most likely. Even difficult when you're at level 20 to challenge him. So here's another boost. Alright, so there's your slow attacks and your boost there. So now all the boosts do different things. Practice with them, check them out, see what they are, see what they do. Have a bit of a play with them. There's a damage boost, so nice and handy. Ability damage, and up here, another handy one. It's your gold boost. Bit of gold. There you go, so there's the boost. Now in here is Fangtooth, who gives you a boost as well when you kill him. I'm a bit small to give him a crack now. There he is there. Does pack a bit of a punch. So we won't fight him at the moment, but so you go there. So that's your basic intro guide. Now your different characters and stuff will have notes on them for what particular roles they're best suited for. So So best off having a read of those and having a bit of a play. Just checking them out, seeing what best suits you, what looks cool. Just got to enjoy what you're playing, and then play accordingly. So. So yeah, so that's the main part of that, guys. If you don't have someone that can get you up to level 5 and get you helping with the deck or whatever else, just add me on PSN. I promise I'll use way better than this. It's a bit hard to concentrate talking away and then concentrating even on easy. So we'll see how we go. But add me on PSN. Name's on the screen there, so you should be alright. But yeah, have a bit of a play. See what you think, and happy hunting.